You are probably watching this presentation because you are a victim of a law enforcement internet sting operation. You have been accused of or charged with using the internet to lure children into sexual acts. Even if you are innocent, you will face very serious charges. These charges can include 1. Attempted child molestation, 2. Sending harmful matter to seduce a minor, or 3. Setting up a meeting with a minor with the intent to commit a sex offense. All of these charges are felonies and are punishable with harsh prison sentences and sex registration for life. That is why the Innocence Legal Team strongly advises you not to speak with anyone without an attorney. Police detectives and investigators are highly trained in the art of interrogation and in using your fear and naivete to their advantage. They know you are worried and that you want to explain your side. They will use that eagerness to lead you to answer questions or say things that can be used against you in court to obtain a guilty verdict. Internet crime cases are extremely complex, and most attorneys do not have the time, experience, or the resources to prepare an internet sting case for trial. On the other hand, the district attorney's office has almost unlimited resources to prosecute you, including police, investigators, computer forensic experts, and internet experts. If you hope to win your case, you will need an experienced team to protect your rights and prove your innocence. Your team must include 1. Legal experts who understand the complex state and federal laws governing content of electronic communications versus freedom of speech on the internet. 2. Internet culture experts who can explain the fantasy aspects of the internet and the game playing that is normal, non-criminal internet communications. 3. Sociologists or mental health experts who can diffuse a jury's irrational fear of internet stalking. And 4. Computer forensic experts who know how information is shared, stored, and retrieved on personal computers and the internet, and how unwanted files can come to be on your computer. In their 1996 ruling in the case of ACLU versus Janet Reno, the U.S. Supreme Court confirmed federal Judge Stuart Dozell's opinion that, quote, as the most participatory form of mass speech yet developed, the internet deserves the highest protection from government intrusion, close quote. The Supreme Court's decision found that the Cyberspace Decency Act was unconstitutional and a threat to the First Amendment guarantee to freedom of speech. The government cannot chill the exchange of ideas, even those that are sexual in nature. All laws seeking to protect children on the internet must be written narrowly so as to not infringe on adults' First Amendment rights. Despite this ruling, federal agents and local police throughout the United States have developed intricate sting operations to get around First Amendment concerns. What the police hope to find are possible sexual predators looking for minors to exploit. The internet sting operation is how they find their suspects, but all too often they find internet users who are playing fantasy games on the internet, and they are not sexual predators. A suspected predator is contacted in a legal porn chat room or other website such as Craigslist by an agent of law enforcement. The law enforcement agent sometimes immediately pretends to be a minor. However, sometimes law enforcement starts off the communication acting like they're an adult or not specifying their pretend age. After the communication becomes sexual, they then claim they are a minor. In either of these two scenarios, if the suspect responds by sending nude photos of himself or engages in sex chat with the cyber minor, he will be charged with sending of harmful matter to a minor with intent to seduce the minor, a violation of Penal Code Section 288.2. Sex chat alone, even without nude photos, can be harmful matter. If the suspect agrees to go to a meeting, he can be charged with setting up a meeting with a minor with intent to engage in illegal sex acts, in violation of Penal Code Section 288.4, even if the meeting does not occur. If a suspect actually goes to a meeting place to meet the cyber minor, the suspect can be charged with attempted child molestation in violation of Penal Code Section 664/288, even though there is no real minor. Each of these charges carries a serious prison sentence and lifetime registration as a sex offender. Further, the suspect can be charged with all three of the felony internet crimes in the same complaint. If there are multiple communications, each communication can be charged as a separate offense. By charging multiple counts, the potential sentences translates into decades in prison. And each of these three crimes makes it possible for further police investigation. A warrant to seize and search the computer that was used for the cyber encounters. Law enforcement are looking for other people with whom the suspect has communicated, whom they believe might be victims, and they are also looking for child pornography. Clearly, a 40-year-old police investigator who poses as a minor to have sex is not a case of child molestation. However, it is not a defense to these charges that the cyber minor was in fact an adult. Now you can understand why you need experts in sex crime and First Amendment law to protect you. Despite all of the electronic safeguards and precautions that are easily available to Internet users, parents still believe that their children are in imminent danger from predators, particularly homosexual recruiters who will enter their homes through the computers. Ironically, children are more likely to be molested by someone they know, such as a family member or close friend. That is a statistical fact. Hundreds of true molestation cases are not covered in the press. Most Internet sting cases are covered in the press. Editors are feeding off of a parent's fear of predators on the Internet to gain audience and help their ratings. There are some predators on the Internet, but statistically, most are not on the Internet. They're in your home. Your team must have access to renowned, respected expert witnesses who can explain why these myths exist, what real dangers exist for children, and how the Internet provides the electronic means to keep children safe. This is paramount for any jury to understand if you are to be found innocent. Your defense must be able to address and disprove the prosecution's claim by explaining to jurors how images or files are received unsolicited from browsing the web, receiving emails, or even having those illegal files buried in a zip or RAR file without your knowledge. Once you have gotten the files on your computer, your expert must be able to explain what happens if they are deleted and how hard it is to remove all traces of an illegal file. This technical information can prove that you have received unsolicited graphic files but then deleted them upon learning their content. Temporary unsolicited possession for purposes of deletion is not a crime. It is a defense. To overcome the prejudice of child pornography being found on your computer, you need to establish that you do not use children to fulfill your sexual needs. Your defense team must build your case carefully with clear explanations of Internet technology, a frank discussion of what people can and cannot do with computers, and very importantly, how freedom of speech must be protected in order for all citizens to express their ideas without fear or punishment. What is one man's trash is another man's treasure. What one person considers pornography, another sees as art. What is bad or good taste depend upon individual perceptions. Opinions of art or differences in taste may be rigorously debated and protected under the U.S. Constitution, but neither should be entertained when making a factual determination of guilt or innocence. The Innocence Legal Team, attorneys and experts, are in their fourth decade of case preparation and trial experience that gives them a decisive advantage in court, not only defending their clients against the prosecution, but helping the jury understand the technical points of law and legal ramifications on your case. That is how you can win. Your defense must be able to explain the Internet culture to the jury. Sexual play on the Internet is extremely common. Faking of ages and photographs to create fake identities is commonplace. Sexual fantasy games and cybersex are rampant. Only on the internet, in a cybersex chat, can a 60-year-old grandmother of 5 lose her virginity. Even more fantastic, she can lose her virginity again the next day online. To a juror that is not involved in the internet culture, the chats that the prosecution will show them may seem totally incriminating. However, once they have been educated on the sexual fantasy culture on the internet, the chats have an innocent interpretation. The defense critically needs an internet culture expert to educate the jury on the graphic, rough and tumble internet sex culture. It is totally different than the culture in the real world known to the jurors. Our team leaders were in the forefront when this new type of crime was first developed, and we developed the defenses that are still used today. We have the experience and the experts needed to defend against this new type of criminal accusation. Please go to the next step and contact us. We are your best chance of proving your innocence. Very serious charges. These charges can include 1. Attempted child molestation, 2. Sending harmful matter to seduce a minor, or 3. Setting up a meeting with a minor with the intent to commit a sex offense. All of these charges are felonies and are punishable with harsh prison sentences and sex registration for life. That is why the Innocence Legal Team strongly advises you not to speak with anyone without an attorney. Police detectives and investigators are. You are probably watching this presentation because you are a victim of a law enforcement internet sting operation. You have been accused of or charged with using the internet to lure children into sexual acts. Even if you are innocent, you will face in court to obtain a guilty verdict. Internet crime cases are extremely complex, and most attorneys do not have the time, experience, or the resources to prepare an internet sting case for trial. On the other hand, highly trained in the art of interrogation and in using your fear and naivete to their advantage. They know you are worried and that you want to explain your side. They will use that eagerness to lead you to answer questions or say things that can be used against you